Hello, what is up? I hope you are doing well. It has been a while since I have been on YouTube. I have now upgraded my camera. Hopefully there's a quality difference. I have a little bit of better lighting, but here's the main reason why we've come to this video. We're going to be discussing credit cards and how to really just start off into the whole credit card network world. It's a very daunting process at first. When I was first looking, I spent 3 months before I turned 18 and I was like, what credit card do I get? And I guess I'll do a little explanation of why a credit card is actually beneficial. The credit card will basically build up your credit history, which your credit history and credit score will help you later on when you are purchasing a house, car, any sort of major big time expenses, and you're going to need to take out a loan. When you're taking out these loans, when you have a higher credit score, that gives you a little bit more credibility to negotiate that interest rate to be a little bit lower. And in the end, that is just saving you more money in the long run. So I guess you can think about it as almost long game right here. And then on top of it, with credit cards, you also just get cash back. It's an easy way. You get sign-up bonuses and cash back. As long as you are very responsible with your credit cards, managing, paying everything on time, that's just the general summary of it. But now we are going to go a little bit more into detail. So for topic 1, we are going to discuss the just two main types of credit cards. There's a secured credit card and a regular credit card. Obviously one might be better for you than the other, but I'm going to just give a little explanation of the benefits of each. Secured credit card is really good if one, you aren't really sure and a little bit worried about your spending habits, and if you might somehow hurt your credit score and you're just trying to start out and you just want to get it. The second reason is if you don't have a good enough credit score or just a credit score at all, it's a great way to start because a lot of regular credit cards aren't always going to approve you without any credit history at all. So that for a secured credit card, what you would end up doing is, say you have $1,000, you will give $1,000 to a bank such as Chase, Bank of America, whatever bank of your choosing that has the secured credit card, and they will give you a credit card with that limit. So by giving them that money, they have now secured that if you max out that credit card, which is a limit of only whatever you gave them, they have that money. You're not going to just spend everything, take off, and just owe the bank's money. So it's their little security. So that's why they call it a secured credit card. On top of it, if you do miss the payment, it's not going to negatively impact your credit score because they've secured it, you technically have paid it, you're good, you're in the clear. Next are just regular credit cards. For these, you will apply and you will either get accepted or denied based on a few different factors: your credit score, your income, how many cards you have recently activated, and a few other things. I guess, general score of it. So the range is between 300 to 850, 850 being a perfect credit score. You can usually negotiate the best with that high of a score, apply for credit cards, not really have to worry about getting denied. It's a huge flex, I guess we can say, in the credit card world. And then 300 is just the tier where you'd be starting out. And then when applying for credit cards, where do you start? So usually if you don't have any credit score, it is difficult to get approved, so the secured credit card is just a good start. However, if you are a student, which is what I did, I'm speaking on my own personal experiences with all of these, so take in mind I am no credit card guru, but I'm just speaking on all the knowledge I have learned on it and what I've learned from my friends making mistakes or successful decisions with them. But I ended up getting a student credit card. It's a little bit easier to get approved because they understand that you're a college student, you don't have that much credit score built up, so they will most likely accept you and approve you for that credit score. Usually a little bit of a low amount, but it's a great start. And then for me, I was researching for 3 months before I turned 18, and I was between two main credit cards for the student credit cards. I was between Discover and Capital One, only because they're cash backs, but I am not going to push either of those on you. I am going to say do your own research, look up secured credit cards in different companies, and look up student credit cards in different companies, see which is giving more cash back, which one doesn't have annual fees, things like that. See what works right for you. Second, we are going to talk about sort of what impacts your credit score. there are 5 main factors that impact it. First one being your total number of accounts. So the more accounts you have, the more security, more, I guess, evidence banks have that you are successful with managing money. It just looks good. And then the next thing is length of credit. So credit history starts between when you get your first card all the way till the current date. If you cancel this first card, that the start of this timeline is going to disappear, and it's going to be whenever you have that second credit card, and that's when your credit history is going to then start. And credit history is a big percent of the credit score, so having that as old as possible is a great benefit, and that's why credit cards are pushed a lot on college students, because if you make the right decisions, you're getting that credit history starting very soon, and it'll help you a lot more later on. The third factor is inquiries. So if you sort of apply for a credit card, that'll technically count as an inquiry. If you get denied for a credit card or approved, that'll hurt it, or either way, it's going to go down a little bit, but it'll usually bounce back within a few months. And there's just like a few other, the inquiries are just like little factors that they're like, oh, like, watch out, like, they did this, and like, it's to sort of prevent someone from applying for multiple credit cards and just getting approved for all of them. The next would be revolving utilization. That is basically the percentage of the money you have on your credit card. You don't want to go over that 33%. I'll go a little bit more into that later. And then the last one is missed payments. Never miss a payment. In the end, that's just going to be taking money out of your pocket, and that's what the banks want. And we all know we don't want the banks to win. We kind of want us to win. So as long as we're all responsible with it, we can all make money. The next thing is notes on what to do, or what not to do, actually. On this aspect, we're going to focus on what not to do. The first thing I'm going to say is the rule, don't go over 33%. That's just kind of like the general of your utilization. So say you are given $1,000 as your credit limit. Don't go over $333 because that is 33%, and that's just what you don't want to go over. As long as you're under that, you're usually in the clear. That's green. It's going to just help your credit score or just not negatively impact it. The way they run that number is basically your balance over the denominator being your credit limit. So 300 being over 1,000 being 30%. The next thing that I learned from personal experience is do not apply for more than one credit card every 6 months. I ended up doing that. I had applied for one, and then I kind of forgot about it, and 2 months later, or a month later, I applied for the Apple credit card, actually, and then ended up getting denied. So that kind of negatively bumped my credit score back down a little bit. And, like, it wasn't that much, but for me, like, I was trying to do everything perfect. I'm like, okay, here's one little mistake in the road. But I've already recovered from that. It's not too bad. But just a simple little mistake that you can just make sure to avoid. And the six months is really arbitrary. It varies based on your credit score, income, and a lot of things like that. But in general, 6 months is a good amount of time to just wait and secure that. And the biggest one, just do not miss a payment. I will emphasize that many times. Just, you get interest. There's a lot of negative impacts. And I feel like that is really the main breakdown of credit cards, and they're just going to be very useful to you later on in life as long as you follow these simple steps. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave comments down below. Hit that subscribe button. I don't know. I'm going to try growing this YouTube channel. Who knows where it will go. And follow for more. I'm going to be doing photo content, video content, and most importantly, financial content. I'm learning a little bit more about stocks and look forward to seeing more stock market and updates like that. Have a good one.